Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina and I'm the makeup enthusiast. In today's video, I'm doing my third update on my Pan Those eyeshadows. This is my update for March. So if you want to know all of the progress that I made in March, then stay tuned. But before we get into the update, if you are new around here and you do love watching project panning content and any other beauty related content, I hope you'll consider subscribing down below. And without further ado, let's jump on in to the update. I don't mean to brag, but this is a very exciting update. I have 3 pans to show you guys. I'm so excited, so proud of myself. So let's jump on into it with the few that I haven't done very well on. So this month I've really tried to focus in on a few particular shades, and because of that, there was a couple that totally got neglected, and those are mainly my melt shadows. So in this project, I have the color Fixated from the Lovesick stack, and it is like this matte bluey gray color. And then I have the color Industrial from the Gunmetal stack, which is like this shimmery, browny, gunmetal-y color. So those two I didn't use at all this past month, so no progress to report on either of these, but I do think that I might try and make these somewhat my focus shades in April to try and get some more uses out of them. And I think I can definitely at least maybe pair this one for some nail polishes, and maybe I might be able to get a bit more progress and a bit of a dip going on this one if I do use this for that purpose. Moving on, next we have my Fenty Snapshot Shadow Palette. This is in the wine colorway. This is number 9. In this one, I'm working on the color Pinot Please, which is the dark purple one in the middle here at the top. And I feel like I'm not making any progress on this one. I am really trying to use it as much as I can. This past month, I used it 3 additional times. So I am sitting at 16 uses on this one. I just have a bad feeling about this one that I'm probably not going to see any kind of serious progress on this one until I'm up way past 20 uses, maybe even close to 30 uses. It's a really dense, hard pressed shadow, and you only need a little bit. And I don't know, I'm just not really finding that I'm getting much progress on it. I will continue to persevere with it. I think this one will definitely be very, very well deserved when I do finally hit pan on it, but no pan on that one as yet, unfortunately. Now we move on to the very exciting part, the 3 pans. So I am working on 6 shadows at the moment. So 5 of them are rouletted from my eyeshadow palette spreadsheet, and then I myself personally pick out one that I have decided to work on last month. Yes, it was last month. I rotated in this shadow. This was my Mina metallic eyeshadow in 502. I rotated this one in because I was working on this in my roulette pan collab, and I didn't quite make hitting pan on it, so I wanted to rotate this in and get some more use out of it and try and hit pan. I hit pan on this one after 8 additional uses, so I did use it a fair bit in my roulette pan collab, and then it took me a further 8 uses to get that little pan in the middle there that you see. Very happy with this one. This one, it's not the best shadow. It's a nice metallic brown, but in terms of wow factor, it just doesn't really have it. So every time I use this, I basically topped it with a bit of a sparkly topper to give it a little bit more excitement and a little bit more interest in it. Then one that has been in the project since the start of the year, so since the intro this year, was my Dose of Colors Snow Angels palette. I was working on the color Thin Ice, and I only hit pan on this one in the last couple of days. It's only a really tiny pan, but it's still pan nonetheless, and I am going to count that as a win. This one is a very, very deep pigmented color. I am wearing it on my outer corner today. It's a very deep pigmented color. This color has really pushed me out of my comfort zone. It's really gotten me experimenting with like deeper mattes and deeper color stories. So I do appreciate having it in the project for that reason, but I am very glad to finally have it out. It's actually a really extremely powdery shadow as well. Like the tiniest little dip in the pan would just create so much kick up. I was always really trying to like use that kick up as well. So I think that's probably what took me a little bit longer to get the pan on it. I used this an additional 4 times, so it only took 10 uses on this one to hit pan. And like I said, I think it's probably because of it being so powdery. Every time I did like a little dip into the pan, a lot kicked up. Then last but not least, we have my Dose of Colors Friendcation palette. I was working on the color Dirty Money and I was using this like crazy this past month. I use this a lot as a nail polish shimmer, and that's definitely why I was able to hit pan on it very quickly, because I was using it a lot to top nail polish, and I was also using it as eyeshadow, and it is a chunkier formula, so you've got to kind of like dig in a little bit to get it picked up on a brush or like a applicator, anything like that. I only used it 8 times to hit pan on it, and as I said, I think that's mainly contributed to the fact that I used it as a nail polish. I probably used it as a nail polish maybe 3 or 4 times this past month, and when I use it as a nail polish, I was using a fair bit, so I think that's probably why I was able to hit pan on it so quickly. That is my 3rd pan for this month. And that has actually taken me to, I think, 6 pans in total. So I am on track so far for my 24 pans for 2022. So cross your fingers and toes for me that we can keep up with the progress and keep going down this track. With all that being said, I am rotating 3 out. So my Mina shadow was the one that I selected, and then the other 2 were rouletted. So I am going to roulette another 2 from my spreadsheet and pick 1 out myself. On my spreadsheet, I have 138 options to choose from, and I am going to random number generate 2 numbers. And I think I've decided that if it's a palette that has like any more than probably 2 pans in it already, I think I'm going to re-roll, because I do want to try and get to the point where I have like a higher percentage of pans in my palette collection, as opposed to a lot of palettes that have multiple pans in them. So let's go with, so the first one we have is number 33, and then we have number 26. 33 is my ColourPop It's My Pleasure palette, and then number 26 is my Makeup Geek Vegas palette. So I already have a pan in my Makeup Geek Vegas palette, so I think I am going to roll again for that one. But I can grab out my It's My Pleasure palette, and then let's roll again for, so let's see what we get, and 138, which is the last one on the list, which is my Tati Beauty palette, which is actually kind of exciting. Oh my gosh. So I do have the Tati Beauty palette and the It's My Pleasure palette. Wait, did I grab out the wrong palette? I grabbed out the wrong palette. This is not the It's My Pleasure palette. This is the Yes Please palette. So let me put that one back and grab out the It's My Pleasure palette, which is this one. So I have the It's My Pleasure palette, and I have the Tati Beauty palette, and I also have the eyeshadow that I myself have chosen. So let's roulette the colors from my It's My Pleasure palette. So there are 9 shadows in this palette. So let's see which one we're gonna get. We have number 2, which is a shimmer, which is this one here. And I think that's gonna go so well with my Fenty Beauty shadow. That's that one there. Which is Do or Dough. And then out of my Tati Beauty palette, this is what it looks like. In this palette, we have 24 shadows. So let's see which one we're gonna get out of this palette. I don't want the black. I mean, I will give panning the black a crack, but I would prefer not to. And for this, we have number 15. And 15 is this one here, which is Sequin Story. It's the orangey color. And last but not least is the color that I am rotating in myself. So this is the color that I've chosen myself, and I'm going to rotate in the Bare Minerals Aurora Lights palette because I do have a shade in here which is Catch Me If. This is another one that I was working on in my roulette pan collab, but I didn't quite make it to hitting pan. So I am going to rotate this one in the hopes that I will hit pan quite quickly, and that will mean that I have another pan in this palette. Yes, I already have 5 pans in this palette, and I was literally just saying that I want to try and get more pans across different palettes in my collection, but I'm so close on this one, so I really want to rotate this one in. So I'm going to bring that one in. I will leave a photo on the screen of my new color story that I'm going to be working with this month. It's going to be, I think, quite purple heavy, but that's all right. The orange, I might have trouble with that like orangey color. It might be difficult to pair with a few things, but I'm going to have to play around and see how I go with that one. If you did enjoy this video, I hope you give it a big thumbs up. If you are new around here and you haven't already, you want to keep up to date on this project or my other project pans that I'm doing this year, I hope you consider subscribing down below. Let me know down in the comments how you're going on your project pan or your pan those eyeshadows, and if you've tried any of these shadows and how you use them. That's it for this video, beautiful. I hope that you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I hope that you're staying safe, healthy, and looking after yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, beautiful.